Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, people, good morning or good afternoon, depending where you are in this amazingly beautiful country of ours, of which we are blessed to be citizens. This is another episode of Bullet Points, and today we are going to go to Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, where love is not the main thing they are exporting or importing, because these stats that they just released are insane, particularly around gun violence. I know you're probably going to expect this editorial and episode of Bullet Points to be about how the prevalence of guns and the easy access to guns and the universal background checks, all of those things. It's actually not. And the onus falls on the DA of Philadelphia, because this is crazy. Everything is linked in the description box below, and I want to know what you guys think for this Bullet Points episode leading into tonight's 9 o'clock. So, with that all said, let's dive in. I look forward to hearing your comments. All right, like I said, Philadelphia. In Philly, someone has been shot every day since January 2nd as multiple crises plague the city, which is bad. No doubt about it. That does not sound great. If you're looking for ways to quantify the depths of the gun violence crisis in Philadelphia, there may not be many bleaker statistics than this. There's only been one day thus far, January 2nd, which not a single person was shot in the city, which is astounding, right, for most of us across the country because we have responsible, law-abiding citizens. Since then, nearly 1,500 people have been shot in Philadelphia. That's this year, including 295 fatalities. At least 50 other people were murdered by an assailant who used a weapon other than a gun. Now, on the face, that is terrible. Like, no one wants to see this. But what's the root cause? It's not the availability of guns, because these things are happening in certain areas, specifically not state or citywide. So what could be the cause? Well, they actually hit it in this article, because right now is where you'd usually expect these editorials to, like I said earlier in the intro, to go into the availability of guns, the prevalence of gun culture, the universal background checks aren't there, straw purchases, ghost guns, all those things they like to hit on with the buzzwords. But they don't here. And this is actually pretty crazy and deserves some reinforcement and some sharing. So, this is nuts. In Philadelphia, murderers have a better chance of winning a coin toss than being arrested. Last Wednesday, during the most recent briefing on the city's response to gun violence, the police presented data showing that through August 15th, only 43% of homicides this year led to an arrest. So that's under 750. That homicide clearance rate, or the percentage of killings that led to an arrest, is on par with recent years. So recent years, 43% of homicides led to an arrest, not a conviction, an arrest. Less than half. Are you starting to see the problem might not be in the tool used, it might be in the infrastructure? If you thought that was bad, listen to this stat. This is mind-blowing. An Enquirer analysis of all shooting incidents between January 2015 and November 2020, it's a 5-year span, included both fatal and non-fatal shootings, found out that out of 8,500 incidents, only 21% resulted in the arrest or charge, and 9% led to a conviction. 9% of 8,500 is 765. So out of 8,500 suspects, only 765 were convicted. Of that, a small number, around 1,500 to 1,600, were actually arrested. You still want to tell me that the problem in your city is guns? I don't know, maybe it might be the DA, it might be the justice system, the fact that you have 91% of homicide suspects back out on the street. I wonder what could be the cause of a rise in gun violence, or just violence overall, if 91% of the people perpetrating these crimes are let loose. That's the reason that I chose this article, guys, because that number is not only staggering, but it also points nationwide to the systemic problem that we have, particularly in left-leaning cities. They are not arresting the people who are doing the crimes, and that's leading to them doing more of the crimes. Basically, the crime rates are being double counted because the same people are doing different crimes. If they arrested people and accountability was actually there, we wouldn't have a gun violence epidemic. We wouldn't have a violence epidemic. We would have an incarceration solution. If you're going to murder someone or you're going to create violence on someone in any way, shape, or form, you need to be held account to that, because the city needs to be safer, because you are obviously not responsible enough to do so. This is the problem that we're facing. It's not about guns. It's not about gun violence. The Second Amendment is here to stay, and we're going to pass it on to our next generation. But why are we talking about gun violence if you've got a conviction rate over the last 5 years, which is a large data set, of 9%? In one of the largest cities in the United States? Just saying. That is the problem we need to focus on, and we need to bring these points up because this is the stuff that really cements our point. It's not about the rights being violated or abused, it's about the justice system not doing its job. And that's the bullet points episode I have for you today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you tonight at the 9 p.m. segment.